Hi guys, welcome back to Flick Finesse. Most of us love a good thriller, that kind of movie that keeps you guessing till the very last second, right? Well, today, we've got something special for you. We've put together a list of top 13 best thriller movies you can watch right now on Netflix, Amazon Prime, Tubi, and a few other platforms. These are the films that will mess with your head, keep your heart pounding, and make you say, just one more scene. From psychological mind games to edge-of-your-seat suspense, this list has it all. So, if you're ready for some late-night chills and unexpected twists, make sure to watch till the end. Let's dive into the list. Number 13. New Order. The movie New Order is basically a nightmare scenario for the ultra-wealthy. It all kicks off during a ridiculously lavish society wedding for an elite family in Mexico City. The guests are totally wrapped up in their own little bubble, full of social climbing and backroom deals, while outside you can hear this weird, growing chaos. It's the sound of a massive popular uprising against the rich, and no one inside the compound is taking it seriously. They just think it's some minor trouble that their money will fix. But here's where things get brutal. The wedding itself is violently interrupted when the angry rioters breach the gates. From that moment, the film is a total, uncompromising attack on the senses. The story splits off, mainly following the bride, Marianne, who is trying to do a good deed, and ends up outside the mansion right as everything completely disintegrates. It's a terrifying, cynical thriller that doesn't just show the chaos of the mob. It quickly pivots to show the even more ruthless forces that exploit the disorder, the corrupt military and police, who swoop in to establish a truly savage new order. Honestly, there are no heroes in this movie, and zero moments of relief. It's an icy, relentless warning about the dark consequences of extreme inequality, and how quickly civil society can collapse into horrifying brutality. Number 12. The Teacher's Lounge. Carla Nowak, a young, idealistic teacher at a German school, just wants to do the right thing. When a series of petty thefts rocks the staff room, the administration decides to crack down, and they don't exactly do it with subtlety. Carla, trying to prove an unfairly targeted student is innocent, tries to catch the real thief with a little secret maneuver. But her good intentions quickly set off a chain reaction that just makes everything worse. Like, way worse. Suddenly, she's not just dealing with a thief, she's navigating an absolute minefield of staff room politics, angry parents, an aggressive student newspaper, and a whole lot of questions about prejudice, privacy, and who you can actually trust. Honestly, the film is a masterclass in tension. It traps you inside the school's cold, sterile walls, and just turns up the heat. Leonie Benesch is phenomenal, as she slowly melts down, trying to stick to her principles while the entire institution turns against her. It's a brutal look at how quickly a community, even a school that should be about learning, can devolve into a space of paranoia and power plays. If you're looking for a simple hero's journey, forget it. This movie is a taut, unsettling thriller that won't give you any easy answers. Number 11. The Ward. Kristen, a young woman with no memory of her past, finds herself locked inside a mental institution after being caught setting a house on fire. The place looks ordinary at first. White walls, cold hallways, other patients who all seem to carry their own ghosts. Soon, strange things start happening. Off. Patients like the danger isn't just in their shadows heads. Move when they shouldn't. And Kristen begins to suspect that whatever is haunting the ward isn't just a hallucination. But no one believes her. Not the doctors, not the nurses, not even the other girls who've learned to keep quiet to survive. John Carpenter builds tension the old school way. Slow, eerie, and suffocating. The camera lingers just long enough to make you second-guess every creak, every flicker of light. Amber Heard carries the film with real vulnerability and defiance, making you root for her even when you're not sure what's real anymore. What really works here isn't just the scares, but the atmosphere, that feeling of being trapped somewhere you can't escape. where your own mind becomes the enemy. The Ward may not reinvent horror, but it's a solid, haunting psychological thriller that keeps you guessing until the very end. Number 10. An Officer and a Murderer. Colonel Russell Williams, a decorated officer in the Canadian Air Force, looks like the kind of man everyone would trust. Polished, disciplined, and respected by his peers, he's the picture of integrity. But behind that uniform lies something terrifying. When a string of home invasions, assaults, and murders begin to surface, the horrifying truth starts to unravel, and it all points back to him. The film doesn't sensationalize his crimes. Instead, it slowly peels back the layers of his double life, making it even more disturbing. One moment you're watching a man giving formal speeches, the next you're seeing how deep his darkness goes. That contrast is what makes An Officer and a Murderer so chilling. It's not just about what he did, but about how convincingly he hid it in plain sight. The pacing is sharp, the tone uneasy, and the tension feels almost documentary-like. Gary Cole gives a haunting performance, balancing charm and menace with eerie precision. The movie quietly asks a terrifying question: how well do we really know the people we admire? This isn't a typical crime thriller. It's slow-burning, deeply psychological, and unsettling in a way that sticks with you. By the end, you're left genuinely shaken, questioning how someone like him could live such a horrifying double life without anyone noticing. Number 9. Two Guns. Bobby Trench, a DEA agent, and Michael Stigman, a Navy intelligence officer, both go undercover to take down a Mexican drug cartel. But the twist is, neither of them knows the other is undercover. What starts as a routine bust quickly spirals into a full-blown mess involving stolen money, corrupt officials, and a lot of double-crossing. The film doesn't waste time. It jumps straight into the chaos with sharp banter, loud shootouts, and that effortless charm Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg bring to the screen. Their chemistry is the real engine here. Denzel plays it smooth and calculating, while Wahlberg keeps things unpredictable and sarcastic, giving the movie its wild, buddy action energy. It's not trying to be deep or complex. It's stylish, fast-paced, and packed with that old-school action vibe we don't see much anymore. Two Guns is the kind of movie that knows exactly what it is: loud, funny, and full of twists that keep you watching till the last bullet's fired. Number 8. Emergency. Three college friends, Kunle, Sean, and Carlos, are getting ready for a night of parties when their plans take an unexpected turn. They find an unconscious girl in their apartment, and from that moment, everything changes. Afraid of how the situation might look because of their skin color, they make a choice that sends them on a tense, unpredictable journey through the night. The movie skillfully mixes comedy, drama, and social tension, showing how one wrong decision can spiral into chaos. It keeps a balance between humor and seriousness, creating moments that are both uncomfortable and real. The chemistry between the lead actors makes the story believable, and the dialogue feels genuine, like something that could happen in real life. While it's not your typical thriller with guns or big action, Emergency still manages to hold you with its tension, its emotion, and its commentary on fear, trust, and perception. It's a smart modern film that makes you laugh, think, and question what you would do in the same situation. Number 7. Dead Silence. Jamie Ashen and his wife Lisa think they're in for a quiet night, until a mysterious ventriloquist doll named Billy shows up at their door. Minutes later, Lisa is dead, her face frozen in a silent scream. From there, the story drags Jamie back to his eerie hometown of Ravens Fair, a place that's been haunted for generations by the legend of Mary Shaw, a ventriloquist who was accused of killing a child and buried along with her children dozens of dolls that supposedly still whisper in the dark. As Jamie digs deeper, the town's eerie silence starts to make sense. Every shadow feels alive, every old face hides a secret, and every creak in the floorboards could be Mary Shaw watching, waiting for you to scream. Because in Raven's Fair, if you scream, you die. James Wan, long before The Conjuring and Insidious, shows glimpses of his signature horror craft here. The haunting atmosphere, the chilling use of silence, and that old-fashioned ghost story feel that slowly gets under your skin. It's not perfect. Some moments feel dated, but the tone, the tension, and the sheer creepiness make it hard to forget. Forget the cheap jump scares, this movie delivers pure, lasting dread. It's the kind of horror that crawls right into your head and makes you question every shadow once you turn off the lights. Number 6. Dead and Buried. Potter's Bluff looks like the kind of town you'd love to visit. Quiet streets, friendly faces, and that small coastal charm. But beneath that calm surface, something feels off. People show up dead, then suddenly seem alive again, walking around like nothing ever happened. Sheriff Dan Gillis, a man who genuinely wants to protect his town, starts digging into these strange events, only to realize the horror runs deeper than he could have ever imagined. What starts as a simple murder investigation slowly unravels into a nightmare soaked in mystery and decay. The townsfolk act weird, the smiles linger too long, and every conversation feels like it's hiding a secret. There's no jump scare nonsense here. It's the kind of horror that gets under your skin and stays there. James Ferrantino brings quiet intensity to the sheriff's role, while Jack Albertson, as the town's mortician, steals every scene with a performance that's both warm and deeply unsettling. The makeup effects by Stan Winston are gruesome in the best possible way. Practical, shocking, and real. Dead and Buried is a slow, eerie crawl into small-town horror. No jump scares, no cheap tricks, just pure unease. Every scene feels off, every smile suspicious. By the end, it's quietly terrifying in the best way possible. Number 5. Light of My Life. Rag, a young girl growing up in a world where almost all women are gone, just wants to live a normal life, but that's impossible now. Her father, Casey Affleck, does everything he can to protect her, moving from place to place, keeping her hidden, pretending she's a boy just to keep her safe. Every decision he makes comes from love. But in a world this broken, even love feels dangerous. What starts as a quiet survival story slowly turns into something deeply emotional, about trust, fear, and the weight of being a parent when the world's fallen apart. Affleck directs it with patience. Every scene lingers, every silence feels heavy. You can almost feel the cold air, the tension, the exhaustion of trying to stay alive one more day. Anna Miowski is incredible, natural, vulnerable, and sharp, while Affleck's performance feels raw and painfully human. Their chemistry makes every moment hit harder because it feels real. It's a raw, intimate look at the lengths a parent will go to for their child. Tender in moments, heartbreaking in others, and filled with a quiet power that stays with you long after it ends. Number 4. Tremors. Valentine McKee and Earl Bassett, two handymen stuck in the middle of nowhere, are just trying to get out of their dead-end desert town and find something better. But before they can even pack up, they stumble into a nightmare. Something underground is hunting people, swallowing them whole and shaking the ground beneath their feet. Perfection. Nevada turns into a death trap overnight. The phones are dead, the roads are blocked, and the townsfolk are stranded with these massive, flesh-hungry creatures right under them. What follows is part survival story, part dark comedy. A group of ordinary people forced to outthink something they can't even see. Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward make a perfect duo. Sarcastic, rough around the edges, but genuinely likable. Their back and forth gives the movie its pulse, balancing the scares with just the right amount of humor. And the practical effects? Still impressive after all these years. Slimy, creative, and full of old-school charm. Tremors doesn't rely on big budgets or heavy CGI. It's clever, fast-paced, and made with a kind of heart you don't see often anymore. It's that rare mix of monster mayhem and human spirit. Funny one minute, tense the next, and always entertaining. Number 3. The Foreigner. Kwon Gok-min, a quiet London businessman, just wants peace. He runs a small restaurant, keeps to himself, and tries to live a simple life. But when his daughter is killed in a terrorist bombing, that peace shatters in an instant. What starts as grief quickly turns into determination. Kwon wants justice, but when the authorities give him excuses instead of answers, he takes matters into his own hands. His search leads him to Liam Hennessy, a government official with old ties to the IRA, and the line between politics and revenge begins to blur fast. Jackie Chan delivers one of his most restrained, haunting performances here. Gone is the playful action hero. What you get instead is a broken man driven by loss, his face carrying more weight than any explosion. Pierce Brosnan matches him perfectly, playing a politician caught between his past and the chaos unraveling around him. The tension never lets up. Every scene feels like a ticking bomb, quiet, controlled, but ready to explode. Director Martin Campbell keeps it grounded, gritty, and painfully real, showing that revenge isn't clean or glorious. It's raw, messy, and deeply human. Skip any expectations you have for a typical action movie. This isn't just a thriller, it's a gut punch of a story about grief, political rot, and the true, devastating cost of holding on to anything when your whole world has already gone up in smoke. It's raw, messy, and painfully human. Number 2. The Proposition. Charlie Burns, a quiet but dangerous outlaw, just wants to protect what's left of his family. When he's captured by the local lawman, Captain Stanley, he's given a brutal choice: hunt down and kill his older brother Arthur, a man everyone calls a monster, or watch his younger brother hang. Out in the blazing, unforgiving Australian desert, that deal becomes a slow descent into madness. Charlie's journey isn't about justice anymore. It's about survival, guilt, and how far a man will go before he loses what's left of his soul. The film doesn't hold your hand. It's brutal, dusty, and painfully human. The violence hits hard, not because it's loud, but because it feels real, sudden, ugly, and permanent. Nick Cave's haunting music crawls under your skin, and every shot feels soaked in sweat, blood, and regret. The Proposition isn't a story about heroes or villains. It's about people trapped in a world where mercy doesn't exist, and every decision feels like a sin. It's harsh, beautiful, and unforgettable. Number 1. Monster. Aileen Wuornos, a woman living on the edge, just wants to survive another day. After years of abuse, homelessness, and disappointment, she's holding on to whatever hope she can find. And that comes in the form of Selby, a young woman who sees something in her that no one else ever did. As Aileen tries to change her life, she slips into something darker. A few desperate choices turn into a cycle of violence she can't escape. What starts as self-defense slowly becomes survival by any means, and the line between victim and killer begins to blur. Charlize Theron completely disappears into Aileen. It's not just makeup, it's the way she moves, the way her voice cracks, the way her eyes hold so much pain and rage at once. Christina Ricci, as Selby, brings a strange innocence to the chaos, making their relationship both tender and tragic. Monster is tough to watch because it refuses to look away. It doesn't glorify or excuse Aileen, it just shows her, raw, broken, and human. It's a story about what happens when someone's pushed too far for too long, and how love, even the wrong kind, can both save and destroy you. And that wraps up our list of the top 13 best thriller movies you can stream right now. Each one brings its own kind of tension, mystery, and those unforgettable moments that stick with you long after the credits roll.